Alright, I'm going to show you how to create a web page using HTML. So step one is you need to write your code in a plain text editor or an HTML editor. So I'm going to use Notepad to write my HTML code. So I'm going to open up Notepad here. You could also use Notepad++, or there's other HTML and text editors that people like to use. But I like to use Notepad because it needs to be a plain text editor that doesn't add additional formatting to your HTML tags. Alright, so I got that open. Every HTML file needs to start with an HTML tag. I'll explain more about tags in future videos, but for this video it's just important to know that we're going to create a simple web page, so your source code here needs to start with that HTML tag. And tags in HTML also have corresponding closing tags. So notice I spaced down a couple and I put a closing tag, which is just the same tag with a / at the beginning. So I have an HTML tag there. Most every page is also going to have a body tag. So inside that HTML tag, I'm going to add one more tag. So again, I'll go into more detail on the tags and how they work and what they look like. But notice I have the body tag, and then I closed it up before I closed that HTML. So they're sort of nested. Those are the main two tags you need, so I'm just going to type some text in here so that it appears in my page when I look at it. So step one, create your code in a text editor. Step two is important. You want to save your file, and when you name it, you want to call it .html. So I'll just call this page 1. But the important thing here is when I'm typing the name, I need to put .html at the end. Otherwise, it's going to be a plain text file. I'm also going to put this on my desktop so I can find it. So where I'll put it in documents. But the important thing is wherever you save it, make a note so you can find it later. So I gave a location, I saved it as .html. So the second part of creating a web page is looking at it and testing it. So that's the next thing I need to do. So I need to open it in a browser is kind of the second step. So I'm going to go to my Documents folder. There's more than one way to do this, but I'm going to go to Documents. There's that page 1 file. And I could just double click it and it should open in Internet Explorer. I'm going to right click on it and open it with Chrome if I can. Doesn't really matter what browser you use as long as you test it in a Firefox or Chrome or some browser. So now I have the source code in my text editor, and notice here's my browser. It's a very plain page right now, but I can see that I have a page with some text in it, a web page now. Next thing I want to show you real quick is, okay, we've created a page, but the other important thing to working with it is editing that page or making changes to it, writing more code. So when you're doing that, you want to have both the text editor still open and your browser. So what I'm going to do here is just add some more stuff in here and then test it on my page to see if it works. Again, don't worry about these tags, but I'm going to add a BR tag in here. And I'm just going to type some more text. So as you're making changes to your page and testing it, here's another important step to know. You want to save it first and then go and refresh your browser. So I'm going to hit File Save or Control S and go back to my browser, hit refresh. You can see the changes that you made. So a common mistake some people make is they come in here, they make some changes, they're concentrating on their code and their tags, they come back here, they hit refresh, nothing happens because they forgot to save their file. So as you make changes, as you're going back and forth between your text editor and the web browser, make sure you save first, then come back and refresh to see the changes. One more kind of first time thing I want to show you on this is, suppose all this stuff is closed up. Maybe you worked on it yesterday, you want to come back and make some changes to it today. So here's a problem some first timers run into. I'm going to go into my documents where that file is. But again, if I double click on it, or if I open it in a browser, that's fine. But how do I get it back open in my text editor so I can make changes to it? Right? So there's two ways to do that. One way, which I don't usually do, is you could obviously open up Notepad, go do File, Open, go find that file. And the trick on that, if you're working within Notepad, is it's probably only looking for TXT files. So I probably need to do all files here to look in my documents and find that page 1. So you could open it that way. Alright, so I just run through that again. I opened Notepad, I did File, Open, I went to Documents, but I don't see it because I need to change this to all files. Then I can find page 1 and open it for editing the code, so to speak. Or the other way that is simpler in my opinion, go to the Documents folder or wherever that page was, wherever you saved it, right click on it, and you should be able to do Open with Notepad, and if Notepad's not in the list, you can do Choose Default. So now I've got it open here, and then I can continue to test it, opening it the same way with a browser as well. And then I'm back to kind of where I was at the beginning, which is making changes to the source code here, saving it, and then testing it in my browser here. So that's all I have to show you. I just want to review real quickly. So step 1 is using a text editor like Notepad or Notepad++, or I think Text Wrangler is another one. Writing your code in there. Step 2, don't forget, is when you save it, give it a name and make sure you put the file name extension .html. And then, like I mentioned, step 3 is basically just testing it out in the browser of your choice.